Hi, friends, and welcome to Comeback Yoga's Saturday morning level 2 class. Today, we are continuing our monthly focus on choice and agency, and this practice is an exploration of balance. So much of the experience of balance is really choosing to engage or choosing not to engage. So just remember that throughout our practice. I'll try to remind you to remember that everything's optional and you can take things or leave things, make this your own. We're going to get started on our mats, and maybe you want to stand or maybe you want to stay seated. So, if you'd like, you can take a comfortable seat or you can get started standing. Just arrive in your space. Take a few breaths. Grab anything you need or start any music you want, and then we will bring our awareness to the spaces that are meeting the mat, or the spaces where we are grounded. Allow those spaces to be heavy, to sink in. Release any tension. And for a few moments, from the toes all the way up to the top of the head, check in with the body and think about releasing tension wherever possible. You might move upwards, you might move downwards. And then from here, we'll notice our breath. And if you choose, you might bring your hands to your belly or to your chest, or you might not. Notice your breath. Leaving out any good or bad attributes, just taking in the facts, seeing what is with your breath. We'll do this for 4 more breaths. For 2. And friends, you can always stay here. If you're ready to move on, we'll take our Qigong grounding breaths, or just grounding breaths. So we're going to bring our hands down in front of us, palms facing one another. You can do this seated or standing. As you inhale, maybe you expand your palms away from one another. And as you exhale, you might flip the palms and bring the elbows in towards the sides. When you're ready to inhale, we'll lift the palms high, just as high as feels comfortable for you. Maybe the hands end up facing down. And then on your exhale, palms face down, pressing the air down into where you are grounded. Palms face one another. Inhale, open up. Exhale, send everything into center. Inhale, expand. And exhale, send it down. Moving here with your breath, so it might help to close your eyes if that feels safe, or just soften your gaze so that you're not moving with my breath, but really moving when you're ready to inhale and when you're ready to exhale. As you move, you might notice sensations. That Qigong is this exploration of our energy. There's so much energy in our body. Maybe you notice your heartbeat. You might notice something like your breakfast digesting. You might notice tingling in your muscles, your fingers, your palms, stretching, or the heating or change of temperature that comes with stretching. Notice what you notice. Or just let all of it go and move with your breath. You might take 3 more grounding breaths if that feels good for you. Or take 2 breaths wherever you are. And when you're ready, we'll start our shoulder rolls if you choose. So just use this time to notice the muscles of the arms, the back, the chest, the shoulders. Maybe you go in one direction for a while and then switch directions. Maybe you go one way and then the other. Sometimes I notice a different sensation if I roll one shoulder and then the other. Check in with the muscles of the face, the neck. See if there's tension. Again, without ascribing a good or a bad, no expectations, just letting what is be, accepting your body, however you came to the mat today. You got it, friends. When you're ready, you might still your shoulders and then move into some side bends. Maybe you inhale, lift the right hand high, exhale, find a side bend over to the left, or extend on your exhale, stretching and breathing into the right side wherever you are, here or here. Breathing here, drawing the bicep toward the ear and not the nose. And then when you're ready, you might exhale, send the right hand down, inhale, send the left hand up. So find your variation here, whatever feels good. Remember, you can skip things. You can still be in shoulder rolls. You can be in an entirely different pose. This is your practice. On an exhale, you might swing the left hand down. Move here through your side bends for 2 more side bends. Maybe you're moving with your breath, inhaling to lift and exhaling to come down. Maybe one position feels better and you just want to stay there. You might move your neck if that feels good. Lovely. From here, wherever you are, we're going to find a tiny back bend. Sometimes we call it a baby back bend. So if you're on your seat, you might slide your palms behind you, fingers facing towards the front of the mat, and then press your weight into your palms to support you. If you're standing like me, you want to really engage the front body. So think about wrapping the core or sucking in the tummy, we say. But what we're really doing is engaging the muscles of the core that goes front and back. And those muscles are around our spine. So when we move our spine in these kind of different ways, it's important to have that core support or a support behind us if we're seated. Cool. So engage your support, press into your palms, or engage the front body, really pressing even the thighs together if that feels good. And then we're going to lift the shoulders and point the tops or the fronts of the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Maybe your gaze follows and lifts. Maybe your gaze stays central if that feels better on your neck. So listen to what feels good here. Remember to keep your support steady. Maybe you need to move in and out of this. And this is a baby back bend, a tiny back bend. Just check it out, see how it feels. If you want an additional challenge, you might keep this engagement in your front body. Bring this engagement in your front body if you're seated, and then goalpost your hands, or we call our cactus arms. Come in and out of this as you need. We're here for 2 more breaths. You got it. When you're ready, we'll find a forward fold. So if you're seated, you can just send your chest down towards the front of the mat. If you're standing, you might bring your head to be heavy all the way down, folding the spine. And if you do not want your head below your heart, you might just allow the head to be heavy here, or use a wall to support a bit of a forward fold. What we want to do is reverse, just kind of contra-indicate what we just did with our back. And then we're going to find our baby back bend one more time. So set up with whatever feels good for you. Find your back bend. Notice that you can breathe in and out while still engaging the core, still protecting your spine, supporting the spine. And when you're ready, find your forward fold. Make it your own. And if anything feels good here, swaying the hips or the head, go for it. And when you're ready, we'll meet in a standing position. So if you're not already on your feet, take your time and intentionally get there for our rooted mountain pose. So for rooted mountain, we're going to think about it's as if we could see our the bottom of our feet, or maybe imagine there's like sand underneath our feet, and we're gonna impress as much as we possibly can into the sand. But there's not, there's a really sturdy mat underneath us. What we're doing is rooting down the feet into where we stand. So you might notice the sides of the feet, sending your weight over to the sides, or the insides of the feet, really pressing into the biggest toe and the heel. You might press into all the balls of the feet, the heels, and then energetically draw those heels away from one another, like you're going to rip the mat in half. And then engage your core. Wrap the muscles of your torso around your spine, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears and towards one another, like opening through the clavicle space. Maybe the hands reach away low, maybe they reach high. Fingers are drawing away from the shoulders, and then reach to the crown of the head, this top part of the head. We're sending it as high as we possibly can, creating as much space as we can in between our vertebrae for those discs in between. Breathing here in your mountain pose, letting this be home for 5 more breaths. Again, noticing that you can inhale and exhale while engaging the muscles of the core. Being intentional about the strength and the stability that you bring to this shape, and remembering that balance is a choice. So if you want to be working on something else in your mountain, be there. When you're ready, we're going to flow. So I'm going to meet you at the top of my mat. You're probably already there. We're going to flow through the sequence 3 times. Just remember that balance is about making choices of what you want to do and what you don't want to do. So maybe you follow my invitations and take every single pose. Maybe you choose to stick with one, stay there for a little longer, linger. Maybe you skip something altogether. Wherever you are, we're going to step the left foot back so that the left heel is lifted and the right knee is bent. Maybe the hands come high, maybe they come palms together in front of the chest. This is our crescent lunge or high lunge. When you're here, think about squaring the hips for the front of the mat, pressing through the left thigh, pressing towards the back of the mat, and really rooting down into the feet that are resting, finding your foundation. From here, we'll move to warrior 2. So the back heel is going to come down, back toes point towards the long side of the mat, and we'll tee out the hands. There's still a bend in the right knee, and maybe your gaze is over your right fingertips. Think about engaging the core here to really lift the lower belly and send this energy from the foundation where your feet are, rooted, to then rise up through the abdomen, lifting through the crown of the head and through the arms. You might feel this engagement in the side bodies. From here, we'll find a reverse triangle. So the front knee is going to straighten, the hips are going to come towards the back of the mat, and the right hand is going to come high. Left hand might come to the left hip, or it might just come down. Our gaze could be lifted, or low, anywhere in between. Reverse triangle. For a few moments from here, we'll find our full triangle. So we're going to reach the right hand out in front of us, slide the right shoulders forward, right hand finds right leg. Maybe it's on the inside, maybe it's on resting the thigh or the shin, skip the knee. Left shoulder draws back, left hand might lift high, or it might come to the hip. Hi, Tucker. This is our triangle pose. From here, reverse warrior. So we're bringing a bend into the front knee, lifting the right hand high. Left hand can stay where it is. Hips come back to center here. You got it. From our reverse warrior, we'll find our low lunge twist. So we're going to drop the right hand down. And then I'm going to lift my left heel so that all of my toes are pointing towards the front of the mat. Big move there. From here, we're going to hinge forward from the torso and plant the left hand towards the right foot. Right hand lifts high. Right shoulder draws back over the left shoulder. Low lunge twist. Breathing here. Thinking about lifting the abdomen up and away from the right leg. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring the right hand down to frame the right foot. And then step the right foot back, down dog. Remember, you can always take your tabletop with your knees underneath your hips, hands underneath the shoulders, if that feels better. From down dog, we're going to find our mountain pose. So you might step forward or you might walk your hands back, totally up to you. Take your time getting there. Find your rooted mountain. And then we'll take that on the other side. So if you came back on your mat, you want to step your left foot forward. If you came forward on your mat, step your right foot back. So left knee is bent, right heel is lifted behind us, your crescent lunge. Warrior two. Open up, growing down from the foundation, lifting through the chest. Reverse triangle. Send the hips back, straighten the front leg. Left hand lifts high, right hand comes low. Full triangle. Slide the left fingers forward. Left hand finds left thigh. Right hand might lift high or low to the hip. Just bring the right shoulder back, stacking it over left. When you're ready, reverse the warrior. So bend in the front knee. Left hand lifts high. Feet are still staying the same. Adjust as you need. From here, low lunge twist. Let go of the left arm, and point all of the toes towards the front of the mat. Right heel pops up. Right hand comes down. Left hand lifts high, opening up through the chest. From here, downward facing dog. And then from here, mountain pose. Get there however you like. Okay, friends, we're going to flow side to side. Stay where you want, skip what you want. We're going to find our crescent lunge. Right foot forward, left foot back. Warrior two. Open up. Lift through the center. Reverse triangle. Straighten the front leg. Breathe into the right side body. Full triangle. Just for a moment. Reverse the warrior. Bend comes back in the front knee. Low lunge twist. Spiral down. Lift the back heel. Open through the chest. Stacking the shoulders. Downward facing dog. Take your time getting there. Mountain pose. Crescent lunge, left knee forward, right foot back. Warrior two. Reverse triangle. Full triangle. Reverse warrior. Low lunge twist. Take your time. Downward facing dog. Mountain pose. Crescent lunge, left foot forward. Sorry, right foot forward, left foot back. Warrior two. Reverse triangle. Full triangle, you got this. Use your obliques, lengthening through the side body. Reverse warrior. Low lunge twist. Take your time. Be mindful in your transitions. This is part of the practice. Downward facing dog. Your shape, your yoga. Last time through, mountain pose. Crescent lunge, right foot back, left leg forward. Warrior two. Notice your body in this shape. Send your body to reverse triangle or what feels right for you. Full triangle, just for a moment. Reverse warrior. Low lunge twist. Right palm plants, left palm lifts. Downward facing dog. From here, we'll find our mountain pose. Get there however you like. And then we'll find our chair pose. So we're going to bring our weight back towards the heels. Think about being a tiny bend in the knees first to start and tucking the hips so that you're pointing your tailbone down towards the mat. Then maybe you find a deeper bend in the knees, sending the tailbone down towards the mat. Maybe your hands lift, biceps towards the ears, or palms together in front of the chest. This is your chair pose. Remember, you decide how deep you bend. Chair pose can be anywhere. Sending as much of your weight in towards the heels, engaging the core, noticing how that supports your lower back. When you're ready, find your baby back bend. So engaging the core, especially if we took this seated first time, opening up through the chest and just lifting the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Chair pose, sink down. You decide how deep you bend your knees. Baby back bend. Shine, 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 it all up towards the ceiling. Chair pose. Maybe you're moving with your breath into your baby back bend. Maybe you're listening to what feels right for you. For one more chair pose and one more opening back bend. So strong. When you're ready to move on, we'll find our tree. So we're going to bring our weight into the right foot. Left knee opens out to the left side, and the left heel can rest on the right leg. The left foot can find the calf. You can assist your left foot up to the right thigh, but we want to avoid the knee. So you're not pressing into your knee. But you're finding the strong foundation for your tree. Press the right leg back into the left foot wherever it is. Engage the core, friends. So much of yoga. Engage your core, drop your shoulders. When you're ready, grow your branches. Make whatever kind of tree you want. It can be high like me. Sometimes I like to find a palms together tree. You might take a baby back bend tree. Remembering that balance includes the possibility of stepping out, of coming back to it later. You're doing so good. When you're ready, slowly let go of your tree. And remember, if you'd like to stay here, go for it. You might shake it out on one side and the other. And then we're going to bring our weight and this rooting sensation that we found at the beginning of the class all the way into our left foot. Right foot finds left leg, skips the knee. When you have your left leg pressing into your right foot, you've got the strong foundation. You're pointing your hips forward. Grow your branches. Be here for 10 breaths, friends. And this is our peak pose. I always think of the peak pose as like the pose to mess around with. Give it a go. And it's the pinnacle. It's all downhill from here, so you really can't mess up. Make your tree 4 more breaths. Coming in and out as you need. This feels so yummy and you don't want to go. Stay here for a few more moments, and then when you're ready to move on, we'll let it go. Slowly sway the hips from side to side, and we'll find a forward fold. Hopefully this feels super yummy on the back and the hips. You might like to take it standing. I'm going to take my forward fold seated with my legs extended long in front. Allow the head to be heavy around the spine. If you're seated, you can use your hands in front or behind to support you. Remember, if you're standing, you can always come alongside a chair or a wall. This pose that I have, seated with my heels kind of pressing out, my toes pointing towards the ceiling, it's going to be pretty intense on the backs of the legs. And if you're standing and you have that same kind of locked position with your legs, just know that stretch is going to be intense. And if you'd like to change it up, you might bend your knees a little bit. So if we're seated, it might look like this. If you're standing, you might just bend your knees in your forward fold, sending the thighs towards the abdomen. Find what feels right here. That might be a twist. It might be stillness. A gentle sway. You might let the head be heavy and shake yes, no. And friends, when you're ready, if you're not already at a comfortable seat, we'll meet seated on the mat and going to have my legs extended in front of me just for a little bit. I'm going to bring my left leg in towards my chest. I'm going to hold on to my left calf with my hands, and I might bring that left calf in circles in front of me or sway it from side to side. You might use your hands to support you as you bring the left foot forward and back. What we really want to do is just create some movement in the hip socket where our leg meets our hips. We're just kind of stretching it out. Awesome. From here, I'm going to plant the left foot down. Then the right knee is going to bend. So the right shin is pointing towards the front of the mat. And then I'm going to stack my left foot over my right knee, my left knee over my right foot. If this is too intense, you can slide it forward and rest in your easy pose. Totally up to you. And if your legs don't look like mine, that's totally fine. This is where a lot of anatomy comes in. So our legs will probably look totally different, and that's okay. We have differently shaped bodies, and isn't that awesome? Maybe this is enough of a stretch in your hips, your lower body. You can always bring your hands to your sides to support you. If you want a deeper sensation, deeper stretch, you might bring your chest towards your legs, walking the hands forward to support you, shining the clavicles forward, or bringing the heart space forward, and the shoulders back and down, away from the ears and towards one another. I'm going to keep both feet active as much as possible. And of course, you can have your feet stacked like I do, or one right in front of the other, just folding forward if that feels good, or noticing the sensations of this pose. Notice where there's tension. Can you send your breath there? It might sound strange. Give it a try. Conversely, you might call attention to those muscles that are tense and allow them, give them permission to rest, to let go, to stop holding on, adjust if you need, to find that support in your hands or the muscles of your core, and allow the stretch to be kind of passive. Letting gravity and the shape of our bodies do the opening, make the change. When you're ready to move on, we'll slide the knees away from one another and the soles of the feet towards one another. For our butterfly pose, you might bring your hands towards your feet, give them a massage, or your ankles, check in. And if this feels too intense, and you don't have any space, or you don't feel comfortable here, play with sending your feet further away from your chest. Create a little more space. Think about your knees being heavy, really opening through the hips, sending the knees down towards the mat, and then you might find another forward fold here. If that feels good, send your chest towards your feet. Adjust as you need. We'll be here for 8 more breaths. You might create more space by floating the knees up and down like a butterfly's wings, or your favorite flying creature's wings. It's all about choice and agency this month. Yeah, you can choose a dragon. I don't care. Notice the stretch. Notice the sensations that you feel. Or come back to your breath for 2 more breaths. And this is your practice. So if you took our last pose, our kind of pretzel shape on the other side, I encourage you to even it out on this side. We're going to bring some movement into the left, the opposite foot, whatever leg you didn't previously move. I was doing so good with my rights and lefts, but I think I messed up earlier. All we're trying to do is bring some movement into the hip socket. So it's okay if your hips aren't moving so much as mine. That's totally fine. You can just make this however feels good for you, however feels right and sturdy, using your hands to support the movement. And then we're going to bend the opposite knee, pointing the other shin towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to stack the leg that we were just stretching over that leg, or bring it down slightly in front. But let's call this our pretzel pose. All right, from here, you might notice a different sensation in the lower back, the hips, the tops of the legs. Other spaces, this is kind of a funny pose. I'm not usually here, so there might be a lot of different things coming up. We're going to bring our chest towards our legs if that feels right for you. Noticing the spaces that are tense. Accepting what is. Being curious about what might change. For 8 more breaths. For 4. Remembering you can always engage with something that comes up. You could always let it go. When you feel even on this side or you're ready to move on, we will find the mat with our back. Plant the soles of the feet on the mat with the knees bent, and then drop the knees from side to side. It's okay if the opposite hip lifts as you do your windshield wipers. And when you're ready, we're going to stack one hip over the left. So just kind of arrive, land with your knees to one side. Think about stacking the knees, stacking the hips, and then keeping the mat with both shoulder blades. So you want as much of your as much of your shoulders to be resting on the mat. So allow the stretch to be in the lower body. You might tee out your hands or goalpost your arms. You might deepen the stretch by looking over the shoulder opposite of your knees. So if you're on your left side, look over your right shoulder. You can choose stillness here. You can choose to move in a way that feels good for you. Especially if you're still thinking about releasing any tension you feel. As you're ready, engage the muscles around the core before you bring both hips down to the mat and then drop your knees over to the other side. You might keep your hands where they were or chain something up. You might look over the opposite shoulder. Taking on this side the same that you did on the other. When you feel even on this side or you're ready to move on, we'll find our last pose. So bring your hips down, and you might stay here with your knees bent, resting on one another, feet a little wide. You might bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide, back in your butterfly. You might like to rest on one side or the other. You might like to come to a seat. For a few moments during this practice, we take some rest. Think of it as sealing the practice. You might reflect on this time. You might return to that body scan we took when we first arrived, moving from the toes to the crown of the head, from space to space, upwards or downwards, choosing to engage with what's there, and part by part, giving permission to rest or gratitude. Or you might choose not to engage and move on. might start to deepen your breath. Bring some movement into your fingers, your toes, wrists and ankles. From where you rest, you might find a stretch that feels good. Bringing the body back into movement. And then slowly, with intention, if you're not already there, we'll find a comfortable seat to close our practice together. Often in yoga, when we close out our practice, we bring our hands together in front of our chests. You might like to rub your palms together. This heat in between your palms can stay there. You can bring it to your face, your belly button. I stack it over my heart. You are important already. You always were. Your presence is so treasured. Thank you for creating this time for yourself. Thank you for allowing me to guide you, and thank you for joining us all. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.